Hello, guys. For the last month, I know we got so many questions, and I know you collected the most common questions, but they all related to startup visa program, right?
Yes, here are some of them,
Mm-hmm.
the most common. Given the fact that startup open in Canada,
Mm-hmm.
Dr. Alex, could you please outline a comprehensive strategy for an entrepreneur looking to participate in SUV program from overseas?
From overseas. Very good question, guys. People most likely will be overseas outside Canada for the rest of their processing. That's a given because not everyone can drop everything and move to Canada without proper state and proper settlement and income, of course. So we understand that. Considering all that, a long time ago, we created a comprehensive plan how we can get those entrepreneurs, Maria, involved in the process. We have support on the business side, we have support on social media side, we have organized support from angels or incubators, whoever we work with, because we understand people going through this for the first time in their life, and we certainly hope for the last. So we have extensive package discussed and maintained by our partners, angels or other investors, and I know they reflect every single aspect to meet expectation of the government, even though people located overseas.
So the next question is, could you please elaborate the options available for applicants if, in the case, if their startup visa was declined?
Well, we never experienced that, but since we enjoy the 100% success rate, but we certainly understand why people have this anxiety, because the refusal rate is rather high. It's possible to be refused because if you're working with wrong people, if you're working with lawyers who never did it before, of course you can face refusal. It's possible. So the options are always there. We have multiple clients who went through prior refusals with startup or other visas, by the way, and it's not always pleasant experience for them. We understand that, but we always try to see first if people can reapply again, because if they, for example, were declined for inadmissibility factors like medical or financial or misrepresentation, especially misrepresentation. Why misrepresentation? Because it has 5-year ban on any application to Canada. So technically they cannot even try to apply because they cannot. So first, I think people who happen to go through some bad representation or personal disadvantages, so definitely we ask them to take consultation to assess their file and start all over, and most of the time it's possible.
How would you advise applicants to interpret and navigate the approval rate data, which is associated with startup visa program?
Oh, this is a very good question, Maria, and it goes to statistics, and statistics is a very, very interesting thing. Every political party or every government turn it to their favor or disadvantage for people, or rather advantage. It depends on the situation. So the statistics of startup visa is very complex. First of all, the government is coming with overall numbers, and overall numbers are basically all over the spectrum. Somebody saying we have 5,000 delay in files in delay processing, somebody calling outrageous number of 15,000. In my view, neither of them are correct, because we observe extremely fast backlog reduction. That's a factor number one. We're actually talking from experience. We're not talking hypothetically. We're not talking statistics. We're talking about experience based on facts. What those facts are? Well, first of all, people who come into the program shouldn't be afraid, because facts are reduction is going very well, and we have extremely intense processing of all the files that we observe. Second fact is undisputable. Government raised the limit from 1,000 annual quota for visas to 3,500. It's 3.5 times more visas to be processed. That's a good sign, right? The trajectory is going upward in terms of fast processing, and definitely people have to be ready for something that will be probably concluded within 15 months, maybe 12 months, maybe pre-pandemic time. 6 months sounds very optimistic, but we're definitely positive that statistics gonna turn around, and refusals, if we're talking about refusals, they should go down because immigration getting smarter, people getting smarter. And definitely, since we have 100% success rate, we're proud of it, and I guess we just have to process more people.
And the last question is, could you please provide some insights into the typical processing timeline for startup visa applications?
Very good question, Maria. Thank you very much for bringing this up again. I guess we recorded a couple of videos recently about processing time. You have to understand we're talking about facts. We're talking about our own experience. And when we say experience, we're talking about our files processed within our office. And honestly, we pay attention to what other people say, but we don't follow that. Okay, so let's establish that. Now, government is saying one thing, but government is merely stating the fact that up to now, the longest file somewhere in the world, somewhere in some consulate, for some country, for some complicated case, took this long. Okay, it's fair. They just reflect the situation as it is right now, looking back. Everybody who coming on board and try and process it right now, they shouldn't even take that into consideration because, well, it's like accept that, well, I guess another pandemic will be here, we'll be stuck for 3 days, and then it will be a problem, right? So you cannot push on that. It's impossible. So let's stick to the fact. So another fact is critical to understand. We observe fast processing of applications. We already have certain things that we actually struggle because we have a lot of applications in active processing that we filed recently, like this year, last year as well, and they go into two lines actually. One line is created for people who file on paper. Please understand that it takes slightly longer. Another file line was created since last year, October, when government started processing files digitally. So two lineups, and people have to understand. Sometimes friends even apply in different lineups, and they are kind of concerned why we process faster and they process longer. It's life. So two lineups, different processing time, probably on average about 15, 18 months, 20 months max that we predict right now. And that's how we assess it. Why? Because we speaking from experience. Thank you very much. I see that's the whole list for this month. Guys, stay connected, share this video, subscribe, and you will be safe.